Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to 4th grade math to proficiency and beyond with Miss Harrison and Miss Ross. Today we will give you a mini lesson on liters and milliliters. Miss Harrison?
Boys and girls will be using your book today to look at the metric system units of capacity for liquid, the milliliter, and the liter. The milliliter is about the size of one drop that comes from a medicine dropper. If your mom is giving you ear drops or eye drops, that's about the size of what a milliliter would be like. That's the smallest unit of capacity in the metric system that you would use for liquid. The larger unit you would use is the liter. The liter is about what a water bottle would hold. It takes about 1,000 of those droplets from a milliliter to make 1 liter. So it takes a lot to make one. Those are the two units we're going to be looking at today. Now let's look in our book and let's let Miss Ross decide on some of these objects we would use and pick out the unit. Miss Ross, let's look at question number 8, a bucket. Miss Ross, would you use milliliters or liters?
I would use liters.
Yes. Why would you use liters and not milliliters, Miss Ross?
Because it would take me all day to use milliliters, little tiny drops to fill a big bucket.
Very good, yes. Number 9 is an ink pen. Would you use milliliters or liters for an ink pen, the liquid or the ink that ink pen would hold?
I would use the tiny drops of milliliters.
Good. All right, let's go ahead and move over to our packet that you have at home, and let's take a look in your packet under measurement and data. Question number 8. Ms. Ross, would you read it to us, please?
Sure. A jug holds 4 liters of water. How many milliliters of water does the jug hold?
Okay. What do we already know? We know that 1 liter is equivalent or equals to how many of those milliliters or droplets? How many of those droplets does it take to make 1 liter, Miss Ross?
1,000.
Takes 1,000. So if we have 4 liters and we need to turn that into milliliters because all of the questions are in milliliter form, 1 is 1,000, so 4 would be
4,000.
4,000. Very good. So what we did was, if 1 takes 1,000, we multiplied 1 times 1,000. So to get this answer, we multiplied 4 times 1,000 to get our answer. Very good. All right, in your packets now, let's flip over to question number 1 on measurement and data. Okay, question number 1 on measurement and data. Read that out loud to us, Miss Ross.
Sure. Michelle brings 3 liters of sweet tea to share with her friends at a birthday party. At the end of the party, 860 milliliters of sweet tea remain.
Okay, what do we already know here? How much did she start with?
3 liters.
She started with 3 liters of tea. 3 liters of tea. Now let's go ahead and actually read the question to see what we're looking for. The one with the question mark.
Which statement explains how to find the number of milliliters of sweet tea that Michelle and her friends drank at the party?
Oh, key word right there. We need to know how much they drank at the party. And not only that, but it wants us to put it in what? Milliliters. So we know we started out with the tea being in liters. So we could probably go up there and turn that to milliliters to start with. And what do we already know? We already know that 1 liter is 1,000. 1,000 what? Milliliters. So let's take the 3 liters, multiply by 1,000, and what do they become? 3,000 milliliters. So that's how many milliliters she started off with. Now, we had to change that to milliliters because our question is wanting us to put it in milliliters. So let's go down and look at question A and look at the first part and see if they converted it right to start with, because Ms. Ross and Ms. Harrison have taught you to take your questions apart, and each question starts with how they changed liters to milliliters. So let's look at that part of the answer first. Ms. Ross?
Convert 3 liters to milliliters by multiplying 3 by 1,000.
Is that how we did it?
Yes.
Yes. So let's put a dot by A and hold on to A. Answer B.
Convert 3 liters to milliliters by multiplying 3 by 100.
Is that what we did?
No.
No. It's times 1,000. So that gets rid of that one automatically. It did not convert correctly. So we're done with B. B is not the answer. Look at C.
Convert 3 liters to milliliters by multiplying 3 by 100.
No. Again, that is wrong. It is times 1,000. So that eliminates B and C. Let's look at D choice.
Convert 3 liters to milliliters by multiplying 3 by 1,000.
That's how we did it. So let's hold on to D as well. So we've eliminated 2. Now we have A and D choice. Now if we started out with 3,000 milliliters of tea, and it told us how much the girls actually, or the friends actually did what? It told us how much remained. We need to know how much they drank. So if it tells us what we start with, which is 3,000, and then it goes to tell us how much remained. If we take away how much remained, would that tell us how much the girls actually drank? Yes, it would. So let's go down and look at the remainder of each answer to see what they did.
Okay. A says, then add the number of milliliters that remain to the number of milliliters Michelle brought.
Are we going to add more tea?
No.
No, we're taking tea away because they're drinking it. So A is not it, but let's check answer D just to make sure we are okay with it.
Then subtract the number of milliliters that remain from the number of milliliters Michelle brought.
Yes, that is what we did. It actually didn't even want you to have to answer the whole question, but it wanted you to think through each step so that you could correctly come up with the answer if needed. Mainly wanted you to pick out the steps to find out how much tea her friends drank at the party. All right, so question D. Now in your packets, we've included some study guides, and as you can see, the one we were using is on the metric system, and it will remind you that 1 liter is equivalent or equal to 1,000 milliliters. I hope this helps you guys. We love you. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Have a good summer.